Signing Lionel Messi, one of the greatest footballers in history, was a dream come true for PSG. It looked like their wait for that coveted UCL was coming to an end. However, instead of being hailed as a savior, Messi left PSG in 2023 with strained relationships and without the much-anticipated Champions League victory. So, where did it go wrong for Lionel Messi at PSG? Let's take a look and find out. When Messi arrived at PSG in 2021 after leaving Barcelona due to financial constraints, the excitement was unparalleled. Fans gathered in their thousands to welcome him to Paris, believing he was the missing piece. However, on the field, things didn't go as smoothly. Messi struggled to adapt to his new surroundings and, surprisingly, went 5 matches without scoring. A stark contrast to the goal-scoring machine he had been at Barcelona. It wasn't until PSG's Champions League group stage match against Manchester City that he found the net, scoring a trademark curling effort to open his PSG account. After a dragging scoreless streak in the French top flight, Messi finally broke the duck in November 2021 in a seething clash against Rennes. With 3 minutes left before regulation time, he curled home a left-footed strike to extend PSG's lead. After breaking the duck against Rennes, it took Messi another 3-month scoreless streak before netting his second in PSG's 5-1 thrashing of defending champions Lille in February. Still, in February, he recorded his 3rd League One goal for the club and his 700th career goal. The landmark career goal came just days before he won his record-extending 7th Ballon d'Or title. Days after clinching the prestigious award, he netted his 4th goal for the club, but it was evidenced he was just a shadow of himself at PSG. His strike rate was reduced and his popularity dwindling among PSG fans. His 4th goal was accompanied by boos from disgruntled fans. Messi himself noted the difficulty of getting up with his game at PSG and the starkly different and difficult football environment in the French top flight. It's a more physical league where games are hotly contested, where there is a lot of back and forth. The players are strong and fast. Physically, it changes a lot. In Spain, all the teams try to play a lot more, and they keep the ball from you if you don't press well. The biggest difference, though, is physically, he said. Despite his iconic name, Messi finished the 2021-2022 league one season with only 6 goals, his lowest tally since his early Barcelona days. He provided 14 assists, showing flashes of his playmaking brilliance, but his overall contribution felt muted. In the Champions League, Messi scored 5 goals in 7 matches, but PSG were eliminated in the round of 16 by Real Madrid. To make matters worse, Messi went scoreless in that tie, extending his winless streak against Real Madrid to 7 matches, a personal low point. Though PSG won the League One title and Messi claimed his 7th Ballon d'Or after his Copa America triumph with Argentina, his first season in Paris was far from the dominant form fans had expected. It raised concerns about whether Messi could adapt fully to his new club and environment, and this was a challenge he took up in the next season, which happened to be his last with the club. How did he fare? Let's go to it, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing content. Messi's second season at PSG started on a much more positive note. He seemed to adapt better to the team's dynamics, kicking off the campaign by scoring the first goal in PSG's 4-0 victory over Nantes to win the Trophée des Champions. His most notable performance in the 2022-2023 season for PSG was in his opening game of the season against Clermont, where he bagged a brace in the second half. One of the 2 goals was a magical overhead kick, which reminded PSG fans of his class and the icon he was. Still cutting sparkles of brilliant performances in the midst of an underwhelming spell with the club, he temporarily won hearts again with a magical late winner against Toulouse to complete a stunning comeback for the Parisians. And that wasn't all. Messi would shoulder the goal-scoring burden of the club in the absence of either Neymar or Kylian Mbappe. An example was his winner from a stoppage-time free-kick goal against Lille. In League One, he tallied 16 goals and 16 assists in 32 matches, showing signs of his old brilliance. His combination play with Mbappe and Neymar was much more fluid, and he helped PSG dominate domestically, adding another League One title to his collection. However, the fans' focus was no longer on domestic success. What they truly desired was Champions League glory. In the Champions League, Messi scored 4 goals in 7 appearances, but the competition again ended in disappointment. PSG were knocked out in the round of 16 for the 2nd consecutive season, this time losing 3-0 on aggregate to Bayern Munich. Despite his individual performances, Messi was still far from his best at PSG. This leads us to another critical factor that hounded his spell with the club. One of the key factors that contributed to Messi's difficulties at PSG was the tactical setup. Under manager Mauricio Pochettino, Messi was often deployed as a right winger in a 4-3-3 formation. This positioning kept him away from his more natural role as a central playmaker, where he had excelled for years at Barcelona. Instead, Kylian Mbappe played in the central attacking role, with Neymar on the left, leaving Messi somewhat isolated on the right. This shift in position limited Messi's influence on the game. He found himself receiving fewer touches and struggled to have the same impact on matches that he had in Spain. The tactical imbalance was glaring in a Ligue 1 match against Marseille, where Messi's frustration was evident as he went 4 matches without scoring, his worst league start since 2005. It was a clear indication that he wasn't comfortable in his role, and his performances suffered as a result. While the club relied on the overall contribution of their all-star attacking trio to retain domestic success, they struggled at the European scene with back-to-back deadlocks in the round of 16. As Messi's 2-year contract with PSG neared its end, tensions began to surface between the Argentine star, the fans, and the club's management. Despite his domestic successes, the continued failure to deliver a Champions League title led to growing frustration. Fans began to question whether Messi's massive salary, reportedly $32 million annually, was justified given the lack of European glory. The back-to-back Champions League round of 16 exits saw his relationship with the PSG supporters deteriorate. Fans began booing him during matches, particularly after the club's early exit in 2023 against Bayern Munich. What had started as a hero's welcome quickly turned sour, with Messi increasingly viewed as a symbol of PSG's inability to conquer Europe. The club's hierarchy, while initially eager to extend Messi's contract, reportedly offered him a renewal at a reduced salary. Messi turned down the offer, leading to further tension. He also grew disillusioned with PSG's internal issues, particularly the constant dressing room chaos that seemed to plague the team. During a match against Monaco, Messi witnessed firsthand the conflict between sporting director Luis Campos and players like Hugo Ekitike and Gianluigi Donnarumma, further deepening his frustration. The final straw came when Messi skipped a PSG training session to honor an ambassadorial deal in Saudi Arabia. The club responded by suspending him, and though Messi later issued a public apology, the damage was done. His return to the squad was met with boos from fans, making it clear that his time in Paris was coming to an end. To further add salt to the wound, Messi said he was the only player that was not celebrated by his club after he won the 2022 World Cup for Argentina. Speaking to ESPN, he said he could understand since he won the coveted title against the hosts of his club PSG. "I was the only player of the squad that didn't get a club recognition," said Messi. "It was understandable. Because of us Argentina, they didn't retain the World Cup," he added. Messi's grievance came despite footage showing PSG organizing a guard of honor to welcome him back to the squad after the World Cup triumph. The fact that he still insisted on something more than just a guard of honor showed the deep crack in his relationship with the club. Messi's time at PSG was supposed to be the crowning achievement of the club's European ambitions. Instead, it became a tale of missed opportunities, tactical missteps, and strained relationships. Despite domestic success, Messi could not deliver the Champions League trophy that PSG so desperately desired. What do you think went wrong during Messi's spell at PSG? And stay tuned for the next Messi video. With that, we come to an end. Until next time.